Hi everyone, and welcome to this latest blog. It's just going to be a quick one today. This is about just to introduce this latest video. It's something that both Andy and I shot. Andy Mcgrath, the author of Beasts of Britain, we shot this in the Lake District in Bownessie with the help of Howe from the British Bigfoot team. And this was part of a treatment that we put together. And Andy's approaching various networks with it, and perhaps some other production companies, in the hope that he can, perhaps get this made. It's very similar. The format's quite similar to the British Cryptids series that I'm looking to produce, and there was no budget on this. And Andy and I threw this together, really quickly, with a lot of patience as well. But it just goes to show, I think, it gets across Andy's vision, because obviously this is based around Andy's book, The Beasts of Britain, and he's in the process of writing more books, The Beasts of Scandinavia, Beasts of Europe, Beasts of etc. You get the idea. So it's something a little bit different from me, but I think you kind of get the idea where my sort of thoughts are going with the British Cryptid series, so something very similar to this. A slightly different format, but I think you get the idea, and I think we've had some very good feedback about this. Remember these series that you watch. When you remember, you've got the budgets on these things are anything from $30,000 to $100,000 per episode. So I think this demonstrates that you can produce something for web quality. Obviously, if a documentary gets made off the back of this treatment, or perhaps one or two episodes for either online or for a network, you can see sort of where Andy's vision was. It was sort of like a cross between River Monsters, which is a British series made by Jeremy Wade, and Coast, which is a BBC production. But I think Andy's vision was you get a lot of visuals and the beauty of Britain. You also get to hear a lot about the beasts of Britain, the folklore of Britain. And you don't necessarily need a massive budget for that. Yes, you'd probably want to bring in drones and hire in cameras, and maybe even bring a writer in, a separate writer, a DOP, for example. But you get the idea. You sort of get the idea what Andy's vision was. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And God, I waffle on. See you soon.
My name is Andy Mcgrath, author of Beasts of Britain. I'm a cryptozoology writer, lecturer and researcher who has spent over 25 years researching the unknown creatures that may be living under our noses right here on this tiny island in the North Atlantic. From a wildlife point of view, the accepted fauna of the British Isles were discovered in the 19th century. Nothing has really been added to this list since, and the continual reports of water monsters, British Bigfoot, mystery big cats and unidentified flying cryptids are largely ignored or used as newspaper fillers to entertain us. At night, outside of the busy cities and next to the unlit lakes and lonely mountains, Britain is an island in darkness. Nobody ventures into the woods anymore, and the pervading paradigm scares all but the most foolhardy scientists away from any serious investigation of the many, yet to be discovered, beasts of Britain. One of the lesser known cryptid creatures on our island is Bownessie of Lake Windermere, Cumbria, an animal that is alleged to be an English cousin of Scotland's Loch Ness Monster. Bownessie has been recorded on camera several times in the last 12 years, and I believe that the descriptions of the animal clearly pass the test for misidentification.
Well, tonight I've got my tent set up here. I'm going to get my drone ready. I've got my night vision capability on. I'm going to get down to the lake and do a night investigation. I intend to make maybe 6 or 7 passes over the lake to see what we can see, and hopefully we'll turn up something. My theory about the seldom seen lake monsters of Loch Ness and Windermere is that they're ocean migrants, seasonal visitors, if you will, travelling through the River Leven, up through Lake Windermere to the River Rothway behind me here, a favourite haunt of the monster. In 2011, Tom Pickles and his partner Sarah Harrington were out kayaking on Lake Windermere. What they saw that day was something incredible. Now what you're looking at here is a picture of Tom and Sarah's sighting. You can see a multi-humped animal form, if you will, in the water. What they described that day as being a giant snake, at least 3 cars in length, and of a very unusual appearance.
We start our search in the south end of the lake. Finding no success, we expand the search by another few kilometers. We are greeted by a calm and undisturbed water and see that the monster is nowhere in sight. Now, even though we didn't find success tonight, this experience and being here at night on the lake has reignited my determination to find Bownessie, the monster of Lake Windermere.
Okay, so a pretty interesting night investigation. John, the drone pilot, made 6 or 7 passes of the lake and saw some interesting things, but nothing we could really pin down to being a monster. So today I'm going to get out on the lake in a little boat, check out the northern end of the lake where the majority of sightings have taken place, and see what we can find. So where was this monster before 2006, and why weren't there any sightings? Now, what we found out from talking to the harbour master here, that the speed limit that was imposed upon the lake to stop accidents with water skiers and speedboats has actually led to an increase in sightings. And during that time, there's been at least 9 other recorded sightings. And what we think is that perhaps lack of noise or lack of speed could have increased the potential for this monster to show itself during the daylight hours. Windermere is at least 18 kilometres long and 67 metres deep, with enough fish species on the menu to feed a horde of hungry monsters. And we have Arctic char, pike, eels, roach, trout and salmon spawning in its rivers during the spring in their fry, making their way back out to sea. So it really is a very, very healthy and productive environment in which our monster could thrive and survive. So what are the features of these creatures? Lake monsters are often reported to have a long swan-like neck sticking out of the water with a small head on top, 4 paddle-like flippers, a long tail, sometimes with an arched hump that flattens out as the creature moves, and distinctly, and this is a very unique thing that's indicative of all lake monster sightings, 3 to 4 humps that travel whilst changing shape in the water. So where do we go with this investigation? Now, I believe we've had some limited success here with our night vision drone. But if we can employ technology such as thermal imaging cameras, audio hydrophones and submersible vehicles, I'll come back later in the year, I believe that we might yet be able to prove the existence of one of the many yet to be discovered beasts of Britain.